Dude, you guys really suck.
Failure breeds success.
What does that mean?
I think it means I have to sexualize my losses and then they become wins?
Uh-huh. Well, do you guys know who you're trading out at the deadline?
What? Why? No one. We're the best team in the league. No reason to ship anybody out.
Dude,
Fine. Best team in the Eastern Conference, but still, obviously, not a seller.
you are not the best team in your conference.
I know, but best team in the division. That's a fact.
You can't be serious right now.
I am. Name one team in the Atlantic Division better than us. But you can't say Florida, Toronto, Tampa, Detroit, Ottawa, or Montreal.
So that just leaves Buffalo.
And
And you are better than Buffalo.
yes. Low quality fans of a high quality Bruins team. Yeah, I'm gonna say it. I'm just gonna say it. I'm wearing a robe because of two reasons. One, I'm cozy in it. And two, I feel like it kind of matches the last 19 minutes of the Bruins play. But bam, we're still in this. Oh, this game sucked, man. This game was so good for 41 minutes, too. It was so good. Well, sorry, 40 minutes and 11 seconds. It was so good. It was such a good hockey game. It was frustrating, but then it wasn't. And it was exciting, and I don't think I'd been that excited. This is how hard I fell. Man, this actually sums it up pretty well. I don't think there was one single moment this season that I was more excited about what was happening on the ice for the Boston Bruins than the game-tying goal 11 seconds into the third period. I was up here. I was absolutely elated. I'm yelling. I'm pumped. 24 seconds. I got to feel that for 24 in-game seconds. I can't mathematically prove that this team hates me, but it's a working theory. There's a hypothesis. We're going to go through the scientific whatever process. There's a word there that I'm missing. I'm dumb. It's fine. I'm tired. I'm dumb. I'm stressed. And I was excited, and now I'm not. They broke the shit out of my heart, man. I was so high, and now I'm so low. Discord. Check it out. Like, comment, subscribe. Nailed it. I have a work party on Saturday. So the video is going to be delayed. It's not going to not happen, but it's a big work event. It's a very big work event where they're announcing some stuff. It's a whole thing. So just a heads up on that. Let's talk, before we talk about the game and the teams and all this, all that, I wanted to kind of talk about the road to the end of the season. And I know no one wants to hear the word playoffs, but we're going to talk about it. Because mathematically and historically, what history tells us here is we need a record very similar to 18-8-3 to get to the playoffs. That would put us at 95 points. And in all likelihood, the second wild card spot is going to be somewhere around that. 18-8-3. Now, the good news is most other teams around us have to do something similar. Most of them are more of like an 18-10-3, 18-10-4 because they have games in hand. But still, similar-ish, right? What that looks like is a couple of 3-game win streaks in there. You're going to have your losses. We have 15 of these on the road. 15 out of the remaining 29 games are on the road. 11 more games are against playoff teams, so we're going to have to beat some playoff teams. Or I guess we'll have to beat all the non-playoff teams. That's the equation there. We have not had a stretch of 30 games, which 30 games is a huge sample size, of a record that good. The best 20-game record I could find was 11-6-3, which isn't that pace, but it's sort of somewhat, if you squint your eyes really hard, that pace. And that stretch was with Swayman at his 880 save percentage. Like, it was really poor save percentage. We were missing Hampus Lindholm for all but 3 of those games. There's just some stuff going on there that you could point to. We're grasping at straws here. But what does this team look like in the playoffs? Because everyone's telling me, like, well, what does it matter, right? Even if they make it, their first-round fodder. I agree. Like, I get it, right? I feel like I have been, especially over the past couple of months, very realistic. I've tried to do the optimism stuff, but I've been realistic. I don't think I'm overtly negative unless we're talking about specific players who I don't like. But I do try to stay positive, but we do the whole realistic thing. So realistically, what does this team look like if it were to make the playoffs as currently constructed? Well, the design would be they play a heavy, tight defensively, battle of attrition style series where you're not expecting to jump out to a 2-0 series lead or anything like that, but you are hoping that by games 5, 6, and 7, you have the advantage because you have just worn the other team down where they're just more hesitant to go into the corners with you. They don't want to be in net front battles with you. Yada, 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 yada. The more talented teams are dragged to your level while Swayman covers for any of the more major breakdowns. That is the design of the Boston Bruins. So the best case scenario is that, in my opinion. The problem, and what people will point out in the comments, I'm sure, is we haven't seen the Bruins be good at any of those things I just listed. We just watched something that really stuck out to me. This Jets team defends the way I thought the Bruins would this year. They're heavy behind their net. They're heavy in front of their net. They might not be great at attacking you and keeping you to the walls, which we were very easily kept to the walls. I understand that, but I don't think that's what this team is excellent at. But they don't allow high danger close-up chances. They make you take your chances from just a little ways out, a sharper angle, things like that. Hellebuck's brilliant, obviously, on every kind of shot. But this is what they do. They play heavy. They're ferocious. They're difficult to get inside ice on. It becomes that much more stark when you're watching one team do the thing that you guys are supposed to be good at. And the Bruins haven't shown that for any stretch during the year. Swayman has had good pockets, good stretches of play. So I genuinely do believe that in a playoff series, we might still see the best of Swayman. But we're not fast enough to catch up to check teams, but we're just also not all that physical. For the heaviest team in the NHL, we're just not very physical at all. I'm really surprised by it. I made a bunch of predictions about this team and a bunch of worries about this team that unfortunately came to fruition. But also, I was wrong about a lot of stuff. And defensively, yikes. Yikes. Like, I know Korpisalo wasn't brilliant tonight, but defensively, we were soft as it comes. I don't know how you can blame the goaltenders for the last 2 games in which we allowed 1 billion goals against, because the defense in front of them was so bad. So, yeah, I genuinely think it's still possible the Bruins make the playoffs, but they can't give away any more games anymore at all. The margin for error is this. Like, there's nothing left to give. And in all likelihood, the front office sees this and they're going to sell pieces off. I mean, it's a really difficult road to see that any sort of playoffs are possible. I believe it's possible, but it's a difficult path. But once you get there, we have to show over the next month that we can play the style that we were designed to play so that we can actually have an impactful series against the team. Otherwise, yeah, we get into the first round and we get smoked. We get smoked so fast. We blink and we're out. negative. It's kind of negative, but that's kind of where we stand right now. I just don't know another way to look at it, right? The Jets team, this Jets team, they are 7-2-1 in their last 10 going into this. They have the number 1 power play in the league. They have the most goals scored per game in the league. They have the second least goals allowed per game in the league. They have the odds-on favorite for the Vezina. And the last time we played them, they smacked us 8-1. And we watched the Bruins completely give up midway through the game. Full disclosure, I really thought we were going to win this game because the universe is dumb and it just made sense in a dumb way to me. I genuinely believed the Bruins were going to win this game. I thought the blowout to the Sabres was bullshit. I thought they were going to come out for this one. They were going to look good and they were going to make something happen. I believe, I'll double check the facts, go back through my notes. I believe I might have been maybe potentially incorrect about that a little bit. So, my bad. They are missing Adam Lowry. Not that you care about that, but they are. For the Bruins, the lineups will be Marchand, Lindholm, Coyle. We're chucking Lindholm back up there. Geeky, Zaka, Pasta, Frederick, Patra, Brazeau, Kepke, Beecher, Lettieri, Lohrei, McAvoy, Wotherspoon, Carlos, Zadorov, Pete, Korpisalo, and then Swayman in the backup. I'm not going to rant about Patra not being on the top line. I understand why he got moved. Patra's been really struggling lately. We saw him kind of toasting the AHL, so I want him up in the NHL, and I want him to take these lumps and to develop. But I'm also not going to sit here and say that he absolutely has to be playing with Marchand and Coyle or this is bullshit. He can be playing on the third line. That's fine. He's taking his lumps. He's struggling. So is Lohrei in certain facets of the game. I am comfortable with that right now because he's 20 years old and he's trying to get his feet under him. And the Bruins are so weak down the center anyway, it might as well be him, right? Like, I don't know why we would force somebody else up from the AHL that is a 29-year-old AHL lifer. It doesn't make sense to me. I am fine with that move. I'm sure people were kind of upset about it. But, I mean, he just hasn't been performing well lately. That's what it is. They did move Lohrei off the top power play unit, which feels like a choice given the fact that we were finally scoring some power play goals. But let's be honest, the power play still looked like absolute crap when he was quarterbacking it. So it doesn't really matter that much, in my opinion, whether it's McAvoy or Lohrei. They're both going to get their shots at this stuff. And Lohrei, long-term, I think, will be an excellent power play quarterback. It's just he's also taking his lumps. But let's talk about this embarrassment, shall we? Puck drops! And then 119 in, I was really upset about this because the first shift was really good. It was speedy. It was clever. We were in their zone. We were creating. And 119 in, Marchand's going to go for cross-checking. We started the game with a really good shift, good ozone pressure, good energy, and we immediately give up momentum because our captain decides to cross-check some asshole. Is what I would say if that was a legitimate call at all. DeMello lost an edge, and the refs have their heads up their buns once again. And a minute and a half later, the Bruins are putting together a really solid penalty kill, but the Jets are able to get into the zone. They get set up. The puck is on the right side. Perfetti tries a sharp angle shot, and the stop is made, but the rebound lands directly in front of him for Niederreiter, who does a no-look pass around the back across the top of the crease for a backdoor tap-in by Nemestikov. It's 1-0 power play goal for them. And I'm really pissed because that's a bullcrap call, and this team really can't afford too many of those, right? You want to get the kill. That's a penalty kill where kind of a goal you live with. You were in the right spots, you were battling the right people, and they got a good bounce that went the right way for them. There's not a ton you can do about that one. It's just a bad call. But it's one goal very early on. You can come back from it. And then 5:51 in, it's just a fast breakout by the Jets. That's all it is. There's nothing clever or interesting about it. They just move up the ice quickly. Morrison on the left side. He's going to skate down with speed and collect a pass through the neutral zone. He's got a lot of room to skate down that left side, sure, but there's two defensemen back. They're covering their angles, everything like that. He skates into the left circle and just hammers this top glove, and boom, it's 2-0. And I'm sitting there going, oh, we're just going to have another blowout. Like, that's it. That's still what this game is be. So we're down here. We're rock bottom. Not literally rock bottom, but we're digging holes down there. We are low. We feel like crap. We don't feel good about the team right now. Blah, 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 blah. Offsides review. We challenge. It is offsides. We go back to 1-0, but we're still here. We're still down here feeling like crap. And 9 minutes in, Nemestikov gets a breakaway off a weird bounce off a linesman when Laurie tried to clear the puck. Korpisalo makes a huge save. Okay, here. Still bad, but like here. 8:29 left. The Bruins building momentum. Several chances, particularly for that top line of Geeky, Zaka, Pasta that's always listed as our second line, but they're top line. Oh, but all it takes is one moment. Marchand has a bad turnover, which leads to the Jets setting up in our zone. The puck is going to go up to the right point, where Zadorov is going to get stuck puck watching. He's too far forward. He's not covering the man in front of the net. He's in no man's land. He realizes this as Pionk wants to take a shot, just a soft wrister. So he attempts to block the shot because not only is he not covering the man in front of Korpisalo, but he's also screening Korpisalo at the angle of this shot. So Zadorov tries to block it, misses, gets by, and Scheifele is the one who has a nasty tip. This is a crazy play. Like, don't get me wrong. It is a great tip, and it beats Korpisalo. Scheifele should have had a man on him. A big, beefy, girthy man on Scheifele. But no, he's not. He's decided to stand out in no man's land because that's what he likes to do. He loves to watch the puck. And it is now 2-0, and we are back to being down here. Way down. We feel bad. We don't like everybody. Blech, bad. And then I thought to myself, well, 1 goal before the period ends. You know, maybe? 4:42 left of the period. Nemestikov's going to go for holding. We're going to go to the power play. And 16 seconds in, the Bruins are set up on the left wall. Puck is moved down to below the goal line where Lindholm had 2 really great plays in this game. Elias Lindholm. Yeah, Elias. He is going to pump fake to the slot to make the defense collapse just a little. Then give the puck back to Marchand on the left wall, who gets a skate into the left circle. And Sniperini and cheese! Far corner, pinging in. And it's 2-1 on a power play goal. Elias Lindholm makes a great play. Color me shocked. And you feel like, all right, we're here. We're here. We're skating with these guys during some shifts. We're around. We're in this game. And we're going to go into the second period. And 8:16 in, McAvoy for slashing. We're going to the penalty kill. The first 8 minutes have been high-flying, excellent hockey, and the Bruins look like they belong in the game. I shouldn't have made that note. I shouldn't have done it. Because although the Bruins stayed in this for a while longer, when we kill this off, every game that we have been going against a much better team than us, and I thought, wow, the Bruins really look like they belong. The wheels fall off and we get absolutely gobsmacked. We get mollywopped by the final score. Like, it's just an ass kicking after that. So I really need to stop putting that direct note about how they look like they belong when they're playing these better teams. All right, keep me accountable on that. 3:30 left. Nemestikov's for tripping on Geeky. We're going to the power play. Early on the power play, Pasta from a distance. Rebound sits in front of Hellebuck. Lindholm is there, skating across. He picks up that puck. There is an almost wide open glove side where Hellebuck's sprawling out. And rather than Lindholm attempting his luck with that, which was an excellent, fantastic scoring chance, he decides to go for a blind pass behind the back across the slot to no one. It was such a good assist, though, on Marchand's goal. Let's just stick with the positives. We didn't score on that power play. Obviously. And with 3 seconds left, Marchand makes an idiotic play and is going to go for interference. An absolutely unnecessary check from a large distance from the boards. This was dumb. This was really dumb. You're the captain, man. We gotta be able to rely on you. And you gotta be on the ice. So the third period's going to start. We have to kill off $1.57 of a penalty kill. And 11 seconds in, after a bad turnover by the Jets leads to a scoring chance, a shorthanded scoring chance for the Bruins, we're going to get a face-off in the right circle. Zaka wins the faceoff directly back to Lindholm, who steps into this and an absolute bomb beats Hellebuck blocker side. It is 2-2. Shorthanded goal, tie game, and the Bruins look like they belong against a much better team. And I am so unbelievably pumped. I'm sitting here because before the game I did the whole 18-8-3 thing, but it was 18-9-3 before this game. 30 games, 29. But I'm like, okay, hold on. This would be a huge check off one of those 18. This was supposed to be one of the 9. I was so happy. I know that I'm saying this like I'm going too hard on this. I was so happy. And then 24 seconds later, I was so excited. I really was. The Jets, we now have to kill the penalty. The Jets set up their attack in their own zone. They're skating down the right side, and they push the puck over to the left side of the neutral zone, where Ehlers is going to skate in all the time in the world, just to skate right down that left wall. And Carlo opts to attack rather than defend the high danger ice. This was a bad play by Carlo. I'm not saying it's not, because I'm gonna bring another player up real quick. But Carlo goes right for him. Zadorov is puck watching again on the opposite side of the ice, not heading to the slot. So Scheifele skates right into the slot. Ehlers just gets to send it right to him while Carlo's trying to collapse his skull in. Scheifele collects. Zadorov is late to cover, and it's glove side breakaway. It's 3-2, 24 seconds later, and I had to shake it off. I immediately wanted to put my head through the desks. We're back down to here. I feel awful, but I quickly went, no, it's a 1-goal game, and we just scored. Yes, we allowed it right back, but we are in this. 42 seconds later, Lohrei. This is a mistake that, you just should never make. You should never make this mistake. This was so unbelievably bad. Unbelievably bad. He's skating the puck out from behind our net. Behind Korpisalo's net. And Ehlers comes to attack him. And he dekes into the front of the net. Now, Korpisalo just had to make a save on the opposite side. And I don't think he realized the puck was going around the other side at this point. But it was firmly on a Bruins stick. What's there to be worried about? Ehlers just swipes at it and knocks it off of Lohrei's stick. And it's an own goal is basically what it is, as it trickles past Korpisalo. And it's 4-2. Because Lohrei opted to deke past a defender into the slot while the goalie wasn't covering the side of the net he was on. I don't care if you played forward for the first 15, 16, 17, 18 years you played hockey. Everyone knows don't bring it into the slot. Like that especially. What are we doing? It's 4-2. And this game was over. It was so unbelievably over after that. The Bruins weren't getting off the mat. 4.5 minutes later, the Bruins allow Logan Stanley just got allowed to skate right down the left wall, past the goal line. He's skating in towards Gretzky's office. McAvoy jumps on him. And in that moment, Stanley's just going to chuck it into the slot. And there's Lohrei trying to cover 2 guys because the forwards just don't feel like helping. Pasternak's standing right over on the far side. Had he just moved in a little bit, Lohrei would have been able to focus on forward. But the puck is going to bounce around, land on Ford's stick. He's going to smash this in. Rhode Island boy, in front of his family, against a team that he grew up watching. Good for him. It's 5-2, and I want to eat a bunch of rat poison. For funsies, not for any intent. 7:15 left. Carlo's going to go for high sticking. We're going to do the penalty kill. We kill it, and then there's an empty netter for Connor. 6-2 final, and we were beaten 14-3 by the Jets this season. After the season series, 2 games, 8-1, 6-2. Yeah, 14-3. Not great. I don't have game notes for this. I guess I do. Lohrei and Patra are taking lumps they're trying to figure out, but this is younger and faster is what we want. And season is what it is. We should get more of that going. Lysell and Merkulov Fuck it, bring up Brunei. I don't care. But if this is what we're going to keep getting, I know we had that little 5-1-1 stretch, but I have never seen a Bruins team that unravels the way we do 1 out of every 3 games. And I do mean 1 out of every 3. I really genuinely do. I don't think that's a stretch at all if you go through all of our games. It's that bad. It's that bad. What's a third of 53? Is it somewhere around 16 or 17? Because if it is, that's basically the exact amount of games that we've had total meltdowns in. Or just been getting our ass kicked the whole game. You can't get upset about Patra and Lorai being in the lineup if you have a similar mind that I do, which is the team's not good enough right now. We need the youth. We need the growth. We need more speed. Have the young guys play. Have them work through these tough moments. Have them improve at an NHL level. It's one thing if a guy's totally not ready to even skate with NHL players. It's another when they are, but they're just still taking their lumps as they try to figure out how to be the best versions of themselves when everyone around you was the best hockey player that they had ever seen up until basically the semi-pros. It's a hard transition. It takes time, especially for non-top 10 picks. It takes time. So I'm fine with that. I'm fine with them taking their lumps. I seriously am struggling with this team from a likability standpoint because, again, I've never seen a Bruins team quit like this so consistently. And this wasn't quite quitting. This one feels a little different, but it's just been awful. It's awful, awful hockey for so many stretches. And I haven't been able to look at the Bruins and be like, man, you just find a way to lose. It's been a long time. Like the Patriots for a few years now, you watch them and you're like, they just find a way to lose. That's just what they do, right? Or we were great for 20 years. You live with that. No one's upset at the Patriots right now. Like, obviously you can be upset at the immediate situation, but you're not sitting there and be like, everything sucks. And we had 20 years of excellent football. It's our turn to suck for a little while. And the Bruins, it's very similar. We're not bottom 3 in the league, bottom 4 in the league like that. Which might even be scarier. I don't know, but there's a process to these things. But what I haven't gotten used to is this team is tragically unlikable because of a few players on it and because of how they just find a way to lose. There are obviously still players that I very much like and enjoy rooting for, and I love my team. I love my franchise. But this is a pretty unlikable team to watch play hockey, unfortunately. It is what it is. Again, I'm not like all that low on this. This is pretty much well within the realm of expectations of what this season was going to look like. I knew we would be battling for a wild card spot. I knew things would be really rough in moments. I just didn't quite think they'd be this rough. I mean, these are some ugly, ugly moments for us. Yikes. Go Bees. Go Bees! And now it's time to say thank you to the high-quality inspectors. I appreciate each and every one of you. There's over 100 of you at this point. And I love doing these thank yous at the end, but I think we're reaching such a volume that I have to rethink this strategy because you're all so incredible and so supportive. But this is getting really long, and there's got to be a better way, right? But let's start the thank yous, of course, with the top line tier. Dampen, Chris and Erica, Negev79, Trial Exotic, Jeff McGugan, Quackin' Platypus, Andrew Peterson, Sean Kreider, JM, Zenon Noel DeGuy, Donald Shelton, Kevin Timperley, Anakin Palpatine, The Rat 63, Lola Cattingsworth, EKM Productions, Moonlighter TV, Big Bad Bruin, The Bugman, Adam Ella, Jeff with a G, Tommy Braga, Roland 22, GD Viperworks, Len Cruz, Brock Nope, Han Slomo, Coach D, The Atomic Lizard, Bradley Johnson, Brett Arney, Pincent, and Nick Citrullo. Thank you so much, each and every one of you. You're absolute legends of this channel, and you're very appreciated. And now, of course, to our all-star tier members. Lorenzo Wood, Jake Brower, Penny Pasta, Levi Catalani, Boston Stringler, Bagel, JG's 12, Mark S, Jacob Pratt, Nightmare Eco, John Kirk, Ann Hustis, Joel, Heil E. Coyote, Darren Woodbury, Abraxion, Michael DePaulo, Wolf Warrior, Vinny, Adrian Winter, Tupton D. Tashi, Bruin Smash, DeKingery, The Only Newts, A Tasty Snack, Doots42, and Jeremy. Absolute stallions, every single one. Thank you for supporting the channel. Thank you for being a part of the channel. I cannot express my gratitude. Go Bees.